Saudi Arabia said that it had executed a record 81 people in one day for terrorism-related offenses.
Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman approved an operation to capture or kill Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
People are pissed, and I mean absolutely furious. But the question is, why exactly are fans so upset? From longtime wrestling fans to media personalities to even some wrestlers themselves. The announcement of WrestleMania 43 heading to Saudi Arabia has sent shockwaves through the wrestling community.
WrestleMania as we know it is forever tarnished.
There's just one word. Greed.
Just like a reptile, no matter how many times WWE sheds its skin, they're the same morally compromised promotion they've been for decades.
But here's the thing. This isn't just fans complaining for the sake of it. There are legitimate, serious reasons why this decision has sparked such fierce opposition. Starting with the elephant in the room, sports washing. See, this term gets thrown around a lot these days, but most people don't actually understand what it means. So let me break it down for you. Sports washing is when a country with a terrible human rights record throws massive amounts of money at high-profile sporting events to distract from all the horrible things they're doing. In Saudi Arabia, they're the masters of it. Because Saudi Arabia executed at least 330 people in 2024, the highest number in decades, and 2025 is on pace to be even worse. But here's the kicker. Many of these executions weren't for violent crimes. They were for drug offenses and other non-lethal crimes. Like Assad Al-Ghamdi, for example, a teacher who in 2024 got 20 years in prison over tweets criticizing the government. And then there's Manahal Al-Otaibi, a women's rights advocate who was also sentenced to 11 years for online posts and her choice of dress. But it gets even worse, because Saudi Arabia's 2022 personal status law formally embeds male guardianship into their legal system, meaning a woman's marriage requires her male guardian's approval. And it doesn't stop there, though. In Saudi Arabia, a woman's right to basic maintenance is conditioned on what they call obedience, including sexual access and not being allowed to travel without permission. And LGBTQ people, forget about it. Being gay is criminalized, and same-sex relations can literally be prosecuted with the death penalty. The list of denied freedoms goes on and on, too. Political rights, essentially zero. Press freedom, they currently rank 162 out of 180 countries. So from the outside looking in, there's a lot to criticize Saudi Arabia for. And that's where WWE comes in. You see, the Saudi Public Investment Fund, chaired by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman himself, is pumping billions into global sports. WWE, golf, boxing, tennis, and now WrestleMania. And the strategy is simple. Get people talking about sports instead of executions. Get them focused on WrestleMania instead of women being jailed for social media posts. And unfortunately, it's working.
There's a wide chasm of difference between making a profit for the benefit of themselves and the WWE shareholders and maybe even the fans as well, and what TKO are doing now, which is not only willingly helping Saudi Arabia's propaganda campaign by glossing over their glaring human rights abuses via sportswashing, but also they're booking shows or even eliminating shows like live events, for example, to the detriment of the company and even the wrestlers, because now money is not the most important thing, money is the only thing.
But what's WWE getting out of this deal? Well, that brings us to reason number 2, money. Plain and simple. TKO leadership has been completely transparent about this. Site fees and higher ticket yields are their core strategy. They're literally choosing guaranteed Saudi money over fan sentiment. But think about what this means practically. Riyadh is a long-haul, visa-required trip for most wrestling fans. WrestleMania weekend isn't just about the main event. It's about dozens of independent shows, WrestleCon, meet and greets, the entire wrestling ecosystem coming together in one city. But try replicating that in Saudi Arabia.
There's straight flights from everywhere in the world to Las Vegas. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I promise you, I've never said myself, you know what, let me check the prices and go to Riyadh. So that's going to be number 1.
And let's be honest about the creative constraints. In 2018, Saudi Arabia made WWE apologize for showing women in standard ring gear. And in 2019, during the first women's match there, they required wrestlers to wear full coverage attire that they had never worn before. I mean, this isn't going to feel or look like WrestleMania. It's going to seem more like a really expensive house show. But here's the real kicker. While WWE is chasing these massive Saudi paydays, ticket prices for regular fans have skyrocketed. You used to be able to see both nights of WrestleMania for about $300. But now, you're lucky to pay double that just to get in the door.
Do they care about you? Absolutely not. They've lost the whole point of this. If nobody can afford to go to these and they're still selling out stadiums, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. don't pull out your credit card, don't pull out your cash and invest with this company or invest in this company, because this company is not investing in your entertainment.
But there's one more angle to this that's making fans even angrier. The fact that there's one country that's far more deserving of hosting a WrestleMania for the first time than Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom. I mean, WWE drew over 62,000 fans in Cardiff. AEW sold over 81,000 tickets at Wembley Stadium, and John Cena literally led the crowd in chanting to bring WrestleMania to London. Hell, the UK has been begging for WrestleMania since 1992.
I'm still one of those people, I would have loved for it to have been in the UK at least. If there's any country or any area that probably deserves a WrestleMania, if it's not inside the United States, should be in the UK.
Why can't this be in a place that is deserving? Because I think London has long deserved a WrestleMania. John Cena went out in front of the world and said as much.
But instead, WWE chose a country where many of their own fans literally cannot legally attend, where women and LGBTQ fans face serious legal restrictions, where the basic freedoms we take for granted simply don't exist.
It is once again confirming that TKO doesn't give a rat's ass about anything apart from money, basically. Not domestic fans or even long-time pro wrestling fans and strongholds like the UK that have been clamoring for a WrestleMania or even a SummerSlam ever since 1992.
Look, Dave Meltzer thinks the outrage won't be as strong as it would have a few years ago because Saudi Arabia has become, quote, more normalized. But here's the thing. Normalizing sports washing doesn't make it right.
Over the last year or so, I feel like it's just been magnified or it's just increased, and it's I don't know, everything just feels really soulless of late, and it does affect your passion for it a little bit. For me personally, you just watch everything, you think, oh, this is just going to lead to a big match that's probably going to go and happen in Saudi Arabia instead of in front of a big passionate European crowd or in America.
I, for one, am just flabbergasted at the lack of self-awareness, how tone-deaf this company is towards you, the fans.
So the bottom line is this. WWE had a choice. They could have given WrestleMania to fans who have been loyally supporting them for decades in countries that respect basic human rights. But instead, they chose the biggest check. And that's exactly why WWE fans hate WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.